All right, welcome, folks, to this exciting boys varsity baseball game here at the Pioneer Valley Regional High School baseball fields. It's Friday afternoon, slowly going into Friday evening. Great day for a ball game. Tyler Borbo, Lou Bordeaux here, bringing you the play-by-play action of this Division 5 league game. Lou, thank you so much for being here.
Always a pleasure, Tyler, and good evening, everybody. As you said, Tyler, this is a D5 state matchup, but the two clubs play in the Suburban West division here in the Pioneer Valley. Current standings there, Pioneer of the Division 5 teams in Suburban West lead it 11-0. Hopkins Academy behind them at 9-6. Green Wave check in at 7-5, and East Hampton at 1-11. So should be a good game tonight. Green Wave, kind of a small bench we noticed during warm-ups, Tyler. Just a couple of backups tonight. Ethan Quinn on the mound for Pioneer. Of course, his familiar battery mate is Braden Tippanyuk.
Battery mate. I like that term. Because he takes a battering or he keeps him going?
Well, I hope he doesn't take a battering. That's just an old baseball term from the old guy over here.
I love it. No, I love the old American pastime jargon.
Exactly. So we are just about ready to get underway. Leading off tonight for the Green Wave, third baseman Chase Zronig. He'll be followed by Connor Bergeron and Caleb Thomas here in the top of the first. And this one is underway. Strike one called. And he follows that up with strike two as we go around the horn. Evan Tippanyuk at first base, Jack Glazier at second, Alex McClellan at shortstop, Jackson Campbell over at third base. That one's up high, 1-2. Outfield tonight for the Panthers, Ethan Mothy in left field, Ben and Hodis in right field. That one gets away.
Our nice scorekeeper helping us stay honest with the out count.
That's good. And with past performance, Tyler, I think we need all the help we can get here. Count goes full on Chase Zronig. Chase, multi-sport student athlete. Fouled away. Had the pleasure of coaching Chase during the high school hockey season. Greenfield with a few of the Green Wave hockey players in their lineup tonight. And that's low. Ball four. Connor Bergeron steps in. Connor's the shortstop for Greenfield. Squares to bunt. Popped up. Quinn is there. He's got to go to first base with it. Zronig advances to second. ET looked him back. So the sacrifice bunt worked.
Very textbook sacrifice. Excellent job to get someone in scoring position early on in the first inning.
This is Caleb Thomas at the plate. Caleb's going to be pitching tonight for Greenfield. That one just missed up high, ball one. Quinn looks Zronig back. Deals. Great pitch by Quinn. Strike one. One ball, one strike. We've got one out here in the top of the first. It's early. Settle in, get yourself a cold drink, so maybe some popcorn. On the outside corner, it's 1-2.
Looked like it was a tough decision whether or not he wanted to go after that one.
Called strike 3. Two outs here in the top of the first. Brings up center fielder Logan Moore. Moore takes that one inside, ball 1. High and away, ball 2.
Boy, nice pitch there, right down the middle.
Right down Broadway, as it were. Count goes to 2-1. That one's up high. 3 balls and a strike. Lucas Iano, catcher, is on deck for the Green Wave. Called strike, count is full. Just missed. Ball 4.
Oh, that's a tough one. Feel as though Quinn is really trying to put the ball in places that are really making the batters need to kind of, it's not that sweet spot where they want the ball. He's trying to put it in the strike zone area that forces them to have to kind of chase it.
Definitely trying to find his location right off the bat. Here's Lucas Iano. That one's up high for ball 1. At the season-ending Green Wave Hockey Banquet, Luca was named one of the captains for next season on the ice. Fouled back out of play, 1-1. Clouds start to move in here in Northfield.
It's pretty tough on the cameras when
I think they call that aperture, right, Tyler?
Yes, we do.
Just missed low. Count goes to 2 balls and a strike on the Green Wave catcher. Luca's brother Nico Ciano is on deck. That one's up high, 3-1. Quinn struggling in the early going. McClellan's got it. Tosses over to Jack Glazier. That's going to retire the side.
Nice job by McClellan going for that easy out to close out the inning before any damage can be done.
We're in the middle of the first inning here in Northfield. Green Wave 0. Panthers coming up. Don't go anywhere. More Panther baseball in a moment. Right here on BNC TV. Time for the bottom of the first inning. That means Braden Tippiniuk going to get things started for the Panthers. He'll be followed by Jackson Campbell and Alex McClellan. Familiar lineup at this point in the season. This is the Panthers' first home game since April 14th. I remember back then we had talked about the 5-game road trip. Panthers came away unscathed on that one, 5-0, as they go to 11-0 overall in the campaign. That's a strike on BT. That one just missed. Caleb Thomas on the mound for the Green Wave. By his own admission, had a very solid warm-up today. Count goes to 2-2 on BT. Bounces away from Thomas. And Tippiniuk is safe at first. I know I'm not the official scorer, but I think I got to call that an error. First Panther runner on. Here's Jackson Campbell. Squares to bunt, drops a nice one down. Thomas was able to turn around and go to second and get the force. Unusual play, but it was very effective. Campbell on with the fielder's choice. We're joined by Alex Sabin here at the broadcast position out in right field here in Northfield. Alex, how you doing?
Good. Great day for baseball today. Sunny, not too sunny though, so you can see the ball. Perfect weather conditions. Can't ask for a better day.
This is Alex McClellan, shortstop for the Panthers. Jack Campbell is the runner at first base. In safely. High fly ball. Center fielder Moore grabs it. Campbell had been almost all the way to second. He's got to go back to first base. And with 2 out, here is Ethan Quinn, pitcher for Pioneer today. Game we did last Friday night from Turner's Falls. Ethan crushed a homer. That could still be in orbit for all I know. Another show me move by Thomas, keeping Campbell honest over at first base. Low and away for ball 1. Ethan Mothy on deck for the Panthers. Breaking ball drops in for strike 1. It's Caleb Thomas pitching. Lucas Ciano is the catcher. His battery mate, as it were. That one just missed. 2 balls and a strike on Quinn. Ripped into left field. Campbell into second, takes the big turn, hustles back. Line drive single for Ethan Quinn. Brings up Ethan Mothy with 2 outs.
Yeah, the Greenfield pitching got to do better so far. Can't allow any runs in the first inning. Pioneer does a great job in maintaining these leads. We've seen it all season long, and you can't play behind against this team. Just Pioneer is that good, and you got to play good from the start.
Ethan Mothy had a home run in that game at Turner's Falls last week.
Yeah, the home runs have been crazy this year. I believe, what is it, 3 people have had a home run this year?
Thomas throws back to second. Campbell's in safely. Yeah, you're right, Alex. More home runs than I recall seeing in the not too distant past.
You don't see that very often from a Division V team.
Lined up the middle for a base hit. Here comes Jackson Campbell around third. He's in safely. The Panthers take the lead.
That's a routine play there by the Pioneer batters. Went up the middle, just enough from the infield to score Jackson Campbell in from second.
Evan Tippanyuk steps in. He's got runners on first and second. Thomas tried to catch Ethan Quinn leaning the wrong way, didn't do so. Evan takes strike one. Strange statistic, Evan leads the team in times being hit by a pitch this season. Pounded into the ground. Over to first base, that's going to retire the side. Panthers do score a run on 2 base hits, 2 runners left. 1 inning complete here in Northfield. Panthers on top 1-0. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have more Panther baseball in a moment. Check out our sponsors right here on BNC TV. Top of the second inning, Nico Ciano leading off for the Green Wave, takes strike one. Nico, another one of the Green Wave hockey players on the baseball team. Launches one out to center field. Ben Werner's there, puts that away.
1 pitch, 1 out.
First baseman Yuri Jenis comes up now. He'll be followed by Arthur Fitzpatrick here in the top of the second inning. Quinn delivers the heat on that one, strike one. Struggled a little bit in the top of the first. I fully expect once he warms up that he'll be his usual self on the mound. Pounded into the ground. McClellan's got it. Over to E.T., 2 down.
Really good fielding so far by the Panthers. Those 2 outs were because of their fielding and improving over the course of the past few years and keeps getting better.
And here's Arthur Fitzpatrick.
Makes this defense so deadly.
Fitzpatrick is playing second today for the Green Wave. I know he pitches sometimes. He's had a good season on the mound for Greenfield. Rips one. And in foul territory, Evan Tipeniuk puts it away. That's going to retire the side in the second. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across in the middle of the second. Pioneer 1, Greenfield nothing. Don't go anywhere. More Panther baseball in a moment right here on BNC TV. Brody Welcome getting things started for the Panthers in the bottom of the second. Brody's the DH today. Takes ball 1 on the outside, just outside. Caleb Thomas on the mound for Greenfield. Ground ball, Bergeron's got it. Over to first base, it's going to retire Brody.
Yeah, this is a good time to gain some confidence. Pioneer at the end of their batting order. Caleb Thomas can get on a run here and start finding his spots on the mound and build off of that.
Here's Ben Werner. Ben's playing center field today for Pioneer. Fouls away, strike 1. You know, you talk about defense, Alex. Ben Werner, when he is playing center field, has really taken ownership of the outfield and done a tremendous job this season. His senior year, of course, when he's not in center field, we see him pitching for the Panthers.
I mean, it's not just him, it's the whole outfield. Hodis has done an amazing job in right field, has elite arm strength, great speed. Same with Ethan Mouthy, too, in left field.
Jennings picks that one up, runs it back to first. And we've got 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. That brings second baseman Jack Glazier to the plate. Mentioned the home runs last week in Turner's Falls. Jack got it started, crushed a 3-run bomb. The ball was certainly flying out of the field at Turner's Falls last week. And with a swing like that, there's no mistake about it. Just need to make contact. Strike 1 on Glazier. 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning. Straight up in the air. And just out of the reach of Lucas Iano. Glazier stays alive. Count goes to 0-2.
Caleb Thomas having a real good inning so far.
Takes that one low, ball one. I know Jack's brother Will had a birthday this week, so happy birthday, Will Glazier. Swung on and missed, strike three. For Pioneer, 3 up and 3 down, nothing across at the end of 2. Panthers 1, Green Wave, nothing. Stay tuned for more Panther baseball in a moment, right here on BNC TV. Fast-moving ball game. Time for the top of the third. Left fielder Bryce Hammond takes strike one.
So far, not many pitches have occurred from these two pitchers so far. A lot of aggressive hits early on, a lot of flyouts, and great fielding we've seen so far.
Absolutely. Quinn with the breaking pitch, tried to catch Hammond fishing. Didn't go for it, 1-2. Just missed, 2-2. Called, strike three. Back to the top of the Green Wave order and Chase Zronig. Chase reached on a base on balls in the first inning. That one's up high, ball one. The state power rankings have come out twice now. Today, a new version came out. Zronig swings right through that one, 1-1. Pioneer had been number 1 in D5 for the state in the first power rankings. Now they are number 2. The Drury Blue Devils. Zronig fouls that into the parking lot.
Maybe we'll be lucky enough to see a Pioneer Drury matchup like we did in the basketball state Final Four.
Well, we won't have to wait that long. 1 week from tonight, the Panthers head out to Joe Wolf Field. Hodis with the put out. And Pioneer will be playing out in North Adams next Friday.
That's going to be a good game.
Game time on that one is scheduled for 4 o'clock. Don't want to miss that. Here's Connor Bergeron.
Bet the athletes are happy. Early bus ride. Missed some school.
Bergeron made that nice sacrifice bunt back in the first inning. 2-0. Two and one, couldn't lay off the high hard one. Other local schools in the D5 power rankings, Ware is number 5, Athol number 7. Outside, 3-1. Franklin County Tech is number 12. These Greenfield Green Waves are 18th.
Of course, last year, Greenfield was the surprise team of the tournament, upsetting a lot of teams and making the Final Four after a late second half push.
Yeah, you're right. And rounding out the power rankings in Division 5 for local teams is Turner's Falls at number 24. Here's Caleb Thomas, pitcher for the Green Wave. Skies that one into foul territory, and it's out of play. Before the Panthers go out to North Adams next Friday, we've got 2 home games here in Northfield. Monday, May 5th, 4 o'clock, Hampshire Regional comes to town. And Tuesday, May 6th, 6 p.m., East Hampton comes to Northfield. So busy week next week for the Panthers. That one's up high. Stolen base for Connor Bergeron. Of course, Connor Bergeron is the son of Peter Bergeron, who had time in the majors.
What team did he play for?
Montreal Expos.
That's pretty cool.
Number, McClellan's got it. Makes the throw, but that's not going to go. Play at the plate. And Bergeron gets under the tag to tie up the ball game. You want to talk aggressive base running. Connor Bergeron put his head down and he just kept going.
Looked like BT bobbled the ball a little bit there and didn't catch it. Aggressive base running pays off here for Greenfield.
We've got a tie ball game. Here's Logan Moore. Logan walked and was cut down at second base on a fielder's choice to end the first inning. And it should be pretty obvious Greenfield came to play today.
I mean, this is a very important game for them. Of course, Pioneer Greenfield have been rivals the past few years, and Greenfield is only 7-5. Pretty disappointing year considering they made it to the Final Four last year. So they got to get a few crucial wins here in the second half of the season.
Thomas goes. Slid right into the tag. That's going to retire the side. Nice throw by BT to cut Thomas down. Greenfield scores 1 run on 1 base hit. Nobody left in the middle of the third inning. This one's tied 1-1. Check out our sponsors in between innings and stay tuned for more Panther baseball right here on BNC TV. Time for the bottom of the third inning. Braden Tippinick going to get things started for the Panthers. Tie ball game. Takes that one outside. Count goes to 2-0. First time up, Braden hit it right into the shoes of Caleb Thomas. 2 balls and a strike on the Panther catcher. Jackson Campbell on deck for Pioneer. Once again, lined up the middle. That's into center field for a base hit. And once again, Panthers get their leadoff batter on.
Do you think Greenfield kicked the bee's nest? Going to come back like angry hornets?
Well, we're going to know in a minute here, Alex. You know, we've been very fortunate to see a Pioneer baseball team this season that just never gives up, never quits. And it's infrequent that they're playing a tie ball game, you know, this deep into the game, third inning already. As usual, a lot of chatter from the Panther bench. That one's low. Campbell pulled the bat back. 2 balls, no strikes. BT dives back in safely. Campbell takes that one up high. It's 3-0. Ciano threw down to Genis at first base. He was off the bag. And that's low for ball 4. First 2 batters have reached base for Pioneer here in the third.
Crucial walk there. Now a runner on second and first. Pioneer has a lot of wiggle room now to score some runs here.
And Alex McClellan's going to step in. Alex flew out to Logan Moore in the first inning. Pitcher Thomas changing gloves. Got to be comfortable out there.
Could you see why he changed gloves? I know it's hard to see from our angle, but
McClellan squares to bunt, pulls the bat back. No, I didn't. I just noticed that somebody on the Green Wave bench threw him a new glove, so I'm not sure what happened. I knew there was a slight delay there.
You don't see that very often.
Once again, McClellan squares, pulls the bat back. It's 2-0. BT on second, Jackson Campbell on first. Makes contact with that one. Thomas aggressively throws over to Zranig at third base to cut down BT. Nice heads-up play.
Very aggressive considering BT is one of the fastest guys on the team, but great play there by Thomas.
So with the fielder's choice, Alex McClellan is on at first. Jackson Campbell at second. Here's Ethan Quinn. Ripped into left field. It's over the head of Hammond. 2 Panther runners score. Ball's loose in the infield. Ethan Quinn once again does it with the bat, drives in 2 Panther runs. It's 3-1 Pioneer.
Yeah, you can't give him that pitch. He's going to execute like he did right there, bringing in 2 runs. Now Pioneer with a 3-1 lead. What a statement there by Ethan Quinn.
That brings up Ethan Mothy, the left fielder. Ethan singled and drove in a run back in the first inning. That one just missed, ball 1. Quinn with a healthy lead off second. Ethan takes strike 1. Checked his swing. Two balls and a strike on Ethan Mothy. Evan Tipeniuk on deck for the Panthers. Fouled straight back, 2-2. Fouled over into the parking lot. Count stays 2-2. Didn't hear the crash of metal in the parking lot. That's always a good thing.
I know, I was just about to say that. Where did you park, Lou?
Well, I smartened up a couple seasons ago. That one's up high, full count. I park over near Tyler. I figure if anybody here knew what was going on, it'd be our esteemed executive producer.
Tyler is a very smart man.
Ripped into right field for a base hit. Quinn rounds third. He's going to score. It's 4-1 Panthers.
I told you, don't kick the bee's nest. Pioneer exploded in this third period. 3 runs have scored.
And we've still only got 1 out here. Evan Tipeniuk stepping in. E.T. grounded out to shortstop in the first inning. That's a ball outside. Lights are on here in Northfield. Throw over. Fourth inning, Lucas Ciano getting things started. For the Green Wave. I'm sorry, that was Logan Moore. My bad. Yeah, Logan led off because he was at the plate when Caleb Thomas was caught stealing to end the third inning.
Let's see how the Greenfield batters rebound from the bad defensive effort last inning.
And now we've got Lucas Ciano at the plate. Logan Moore on at first base. That one's up high. 1-1 on the Green Wave catcher. Fouled back, 1-2. Luca will be followed by his brother Nico. And Yuri Jenis here in the top of the fourth. Panthers broke this one open in the bottom of the third, pushing across 5 big runs. Swung on and missed, strike 3.
Ethan just zipping it past the batter there.
One of the things we were talking about earlier was once he gets sufficiently warmed up, he's going to find his rhythm, and it certainly looks like he's well on the way to doing so. Quick move over to first. Moore dives back in safely. Nico Ciano flew out to Ben Werner in the second. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Good location from Quinn. Foul back. 0-2. Moore's going. Slid right into the tag. What a throw by this one, 6-1. Stay tuned for more Panther. Take strike 1. Spoke with staff meteorologist Brian Campbell a little while ago. Mentioned that raining pretty heavily down in Deerfield earlier on. Seems to think we're okay here in Northfield. I like being okay. Two balls and a strike on McClellan. Thomas steps off. Fouled away, 2-2. McClellan showing some patience there, works the count full. That's outside for ball 4. Panthers again get that first runner on. Here's Ethan Quinn.
Yeah, I love that patience there by McClellan. Kept waiting and waiting for the pitch, but the pitch didn't come as Thomas couldn't find his rhythm and allowed the walk.
Quick throw by Thomas over to first base. McClellan dives back in safely. Once again, Ethan broke things open in the third inning with that monster 2-run double. He's 2 for 2 on the day, single and a double. Ethan takes that one down low, ball 1. Green Wave are worried about Alex McClellan over at first base.
As he should be, one of the fastest guys on the team.
Quinn hits it to Genis at first. He goes unassisted at first base. McClellan advances to second. Brings up Ethan Mothy, the left fielder.
Got the job done. Advanced the runner.
Ethan Mothy 2 for 2 on the day. He's got 2 runs batted in so far. He scored a run in that big third inning. Takes strike 1. McClellan dives back in safely. As usual, he's got half the infield on his uniform. Ball gets away from Ciano. And McClellan advances to third. Fouled out of play. Once again, ball bounces between vehicles in the parking lot. You have to have a sense of adventure to park over in the parking lot here. At least if a foul ball goes that way. Popped up. Thomas grabs it. With 2 outs, that's going to bring up Evan Tippenyuk. Alex McClellan leading off third. Evans 1 for 2 today. Singled and scored a run in that big third inning. And grounded out to short back in the first. And that's into Souvenir Country down the right side. Fouled back out of play. And was that a Kia that got hit? That silver one? Good golly, Miss Molly. Called strike 3. That's going to retire the side. One runner stranded for Pioneer. We've got 4 innings in the books in Northfield. It's 6-1 Pioneer. Stay tuned for more Panther baseball here on BNC TV. Welcome back to Pioneer Panther Baseball. Lou Bordeaux here, Alex Sabin, and the winded executive producer Tyler Borbo with you here today. Got some dandy aperture going on that center field camera. This is Yuri Jenis, fouls that one back out of play. Jenis is going to be followed by Arthur Fitzpatrick and Bryce Hammond here in the top of the 5th inning. Just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Panthers on top, 6-1. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Fifth strikeout of the day for Ethan Quinn. Arthur Fitzpatrick at the plate. Fouled out to Evan Tipeniuk back in the 2nd inning. Fitzpatrick takes strike 1.
He's been really liking that low spot right there. Low and fast. Seems his bread and butter so far.
1-1. Great location by Quinn, 1-2. Just missed high and away. 2-2. Time for the bottom of the 5th inning here in Northfield. Panthers on top 6-1. Brody Welcome swings at the first pitch. And Lucas Ciano puts it away. 1 pitch, 1 out. That'll bring up Ben Werner, Panther center fielder. Werner's 1 for 2 today. Oh! Hit him right below his digit.
Never want to get hit there. That's probably the worst spot.
Absolutely. Here's Jack Glazier. Jack has walked and struck out today. Oh, and 2 on Glazier. That one's up high. Werner goes. Slid right into the tag. Good throw by Ciano right down to Arthur Fitzpatrick for the putout.
Looks like Warner didn't have a good lead on the run there. Had to travel a lot more distance than you would have liked, causing the outage there.
Well, we talk from time to time about the aggressive base running of Pioneer, and way more often than not it is to their advantage, and that time it just didn't work. That one's up high to Glazier. 2-2. Fouled out of play. Speaking of aggressive base running, we covered the girls softball game yesterday, and they had 11 stolen bases on the day.
I guess everybody likes to steal in Northfield.
They had a good day yesterday. Big 14-3 win over Mahar.
8-6 now on the season, above 500.
That's right. Good season so far. Another foul ball by Glazier. That one out of play. Rolls into the parking lot. Full count on Glazier. Called. Strike 3 to retire the side. Nothing across for Pioneer in the 5th. We've got 5 innings complete here in Northfield. Panthers lead this one 6-1. Stay tuned for more Panther baseball in a moment after you check out our sponsors right here on BNC TV. Sixth inning here in Northfield. Panthers lead this one 6-1. Chase Zrane going to get it started for the Green Wave. Fouled out of play. Just missed a Chevy Silverado. A lot of foul balls over into the parking area today. And there goes another one. They cleared everything. 0-2 on the Green Wave third baseman. Just missed 1-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner.
Ethan Quinn has been dominant all game, finding his spot. Like I said, underneath there, low and inside, has been his spot all day long.
7th strikeout on the day for Ethan Quinn. Here's Connor Bergeron. Connor has scored the lone Greenfield run today. Talk about aggressive base running. He stole second after he walked in the third inning. Ran like a champ. Sliced into left field. That's a base hit. That is the first base runner for Greenfield since the 4th inning when Logan Moore reached by a single.
I was going to say, it's been a while. Ethan Quinn has been really dominating as of late.
Pitcher Caleb Thomas at the plate. Caleb's 1 for 2 today. Leaned away from that one. Ball broke back over home plate. Going to keep an eye on Bergeron leading off of first. That one's inside, 1-1. Quinn goes right down Broadway. It's 1-2. Sliced foul down the right side. Pounded into the ground. Quinn's got it. Over to Tippanyuk, gets the runner at first base. Bergeron advances to second. Two outs here in the top of the 6th. Center fielder Logan Moore stepping in. Moore singled back in the 4th. Was caught stealing on that dandy throw from Braden Tippanyuk. It's in the dirt, 2-0. Just missed, low and outside. Moore taking all the way, 3-1. And that's ball 4.
Good patience there by Moore, not swinging at any of the pitches that would have been called a ball if he didn't swing.
Yeah, definitely waited for his pitch, just never saw it. So with 2 outs, runners on first and second. Here's catcher Lucas Ciano. Lined up the middle. It's a base hit into center field. Bergeron rounds third. Throw to the plate. He is out. What a throw by Ben Werner. Braden Tippenyuk applies the tag. That's going to retire the side.
Wow, what a throw.
For Greenfield, no runs, 2 base hits, 1 runner left in the middle of the 6th inning. Pioneers 6, Greenfield 1. Don't go anywhere. Panther 6 in a moment right here on BNC TV. Bottom of the 6th inning. Panther top of the order, Braden Tippenyuk takes strike 1. BT struck out his last time up. Fouled back out of play. Fouled out of play down the right side. Seems like we've lost a lot of baseballs today. More than usual.
A lot of fetching.
Mixing things up after 2 fouls down the right side. Rips one down the left side. Count remains 1-2. Zronig's got it. Over to Genis at first to retire BT. Nice defensive play by Chase Zronig over at third base. Here's Jackson Campbell. Campbell has scored 2 of the 6 Panther runs. Swung at that one, was inside. 0-1. Campbell asks for time. Umpire grants it, steps out, recalibrates. One and two. Alex McClellan on deck for Pioneer. Foul down the third base line. That one's outside. Called strike 3.
Beautiful pitch there, just inside.
Took a little bit off, dropped right in. 2 outs, here's Alex McClellan.
Caleb's had a pretty good game overall, I would say, but despite that 1 inning.
Well, you make a good point, Alex. You take those 5 runs off the board, we've got a 1-1 ball game here.
And like you said off the break, it really started happening after that exchange of gloves there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I'm going to try and get some feedback after the game's over. But it was just kind of unusual. McClellan swings right through that one. Ball and 2 strikes.
You just clearly could see he was not in his rhythm right out the gate, which nobody would be after changing a glove.
Fitzpatrick over to Jennis. That's going to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for Pioneer in the 6th. Nothing across. 6 innings in the books here in Northfield. Panthers 6, Green Wave 1. Stay tuned for the 7th inning. Coming right up on BNC TV. It off. Take strike 1. Nico's 0 for 2 today. Ethan's got it. Over to ET, and we've got 1 out.
Yeah, the Pioneer defense has been dominant all game long. Not just Ethan Quinn, but I feel like all the fielders, especially in the outfield with Ben Warner's play last inning, the defense needs all the credit in the world.
Yeah, been a great effort today by the Panthers. Here's Yuri Jennis. Takes strike 1.
Greenfield's had some good hits too. Just the Pioneer defense has been really tick-tock shape.
Yeah,
this
so
game.
So often we see the Panther offense run away with a ball game, but Caleb Thomas has pretty much been in charge almost all day long for the Green Wave, and it's been the Panther defense that has held strong today. Jennis takes that one low, 1 and 2. Called strike 3. Last chance for Greenfield, Arthur Fitzpatrick. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Ethan Quinn is just dealing right now.
Not much you can do when he's throwing like this.
Ground ball, Quinn's got it. Over to first base. Ball game over. For Greenfield in the 7th. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across. Final score. Panthers 6, Green Wave 1. As we've been saying all day long, Alex, just a great effort by the Panther defense today. 8 big strikeouts for Ethan Quinn on the mound. What can you say about it? Just a great effort.
Yeah, definitely hard to beat Pioneer when they're playing defense like this. Ethan Quinn was on his game pretty much throughout the entire game, and even the innings he did struggle, like right off the gate and the 3rd inning. The defense really stepped up, did what they were supposed to do, got Ethan Quinn's back, and played a real good defensive effort today.
Yeah, looking at the scorecard, 8 strikeouts for Quinn. Only gave up 4 base hits on the day. Just a dominant pitching performance. And he was backed up by some stellar fielding. Of course, put a star next to that outfield play by Ben Werner in the 6th inning, where he cut down Connor Bergeron at the plate. But just another solid win for the Panthers. They go to 12-0 on the campaign. We are going to be back here, weather permitting, on Monday. 4 o'clock tilt when Hampshire Regional comes to Pioneer. Follow that with Tuesday night game, 6 o'clock when East Hampton comes to Pioneer. And we won't be covering the game, but you might want to think about going out to North Adams 1 week from today, next Friday, May 9th at 4 o'clock. First ranked in the state, Drury Blue Devils hosting the 2nd ranked.
That's going to be
Panthers.
a dandy.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one for sure, as they all are. So that's all I've got. Anything else, Alex?
No, another dominant win by Pioneer, 12-0. Everything's looking real good for them so far.
Absolutely. So for Alex Sabin, for our executive producer of BNC TV, Tyler Borbo, I am Lou Bordeaux, thanking you for your time this time. And until next time, so long from Northfield.